Hi everyone, Vince here. Hope you're all doing well. Today's video I'll be showing you how you can get Hot Shots Golf 4 online in the year 2024 and hopefully well into the future. This particular tutorial is focused on using a PlayStation 2 Slim model. Any of the Slim models will work for this. If you have a Fat, following these steps will not work. I plan on making a separate tutorial in the future to show you how to get this to work on a Fat model. So stay tuned for that if you need it. So this is what you're going to all need here. You're going to need a copy of the game, obviously. You're going to need a blank DVD-R disc. You're going to need your PlayStation 2 Slim, obviously. You are going to need a memory card in order to save your network configuration file for the game. And you are also going to need some way to burn a DVD, obviously. In this case, I have an old laptop with a DVD burner that I'm going to be using. And you also need a computer that can run Windows. This computer also runs Windows, so I'll be using it for that as well. With all that said, I do want to make a disclaimer regarding the DVD-Rs. So it turns out they do not produce good quality DVD-Rs in the current day. This is the one I tried to use originally, a new verbatim DVD-R that I bought, and I was having a lot of issues with the game skipping in during videos and music and things like that. Looking into it a bit, it just turns out that all DVD-Rs that are produced these days are just garbage, unfortunately. So I actually bought some new old stock DVD-Rs. And you can see this was made in the year 2004, so this is 20 years old. This is back when making DVDs would have mattered, so I'm sure this is much better quality than the new one I got. And just from my prior experiences, I've used TDKs and Sonys in the past for optical media, and those worked very well back in the day when I used them. I never used verbatim, but people always said verbatim was great, so I'm pretty sure this should work fine. Yeah, just keep that in mind if you're looking for quality media. You might be better off going to a thrift store and buying an old stack of CDs, or going on eBay, buying some new old stock like I did. But yeah, with all that said, I'm going to set up this laptop and continue on. Okay, over on our computer running Windows, we're going to need to download a few different pieces of software. The first one we're going to get is this DNAS NetPatcher Test 21. The purpose of this is to patch your game so that it can actually go online and be played. So go ahead and find the file in the bottom right corner here and download it. And then we can go on to the next download. The next thing we're going to download is the free DVD boot ESR patcher GUI by Jabu. The purpose of this is to allow the game to actually boot in your PS2 without any modification to your system. So go ahead and download this. And as another reminder, this only works for PS2 Slims. Patching this will not let your game auto boot in a FAT. The next thing we're going to download is 7-zip. This is assuming you don't have a way to open the files you just downloaded. I would recommend you just get 7-zip. I'm running a 64-bit Windows operating system, so I went ahead and got that first link there and downloaded it. You're going to have to download whichever one suits your operating system. Probably that same one though. And the last thing we're going to download is an image burning program. This is assuming you don't already have image burning software that you use. So I would recommend you get IMG Burn. This is a very simple, very easy to use piece of software. It's free. So on their website, I went ahead and picked the last link here and just let the program download. Okay, now that you have everything downloaded, go ahead and go to the folder wherever your download is. So first I'm going to install 7-zip and IMG Burn. So I'm installing 7-zip right now. It's very quick and simple to install. Then we're going to go through the IMG Burn setup process. Okay, just go on next here. You can read through the agreement, make sure you agree to everything. Click the accept the terms of the license agreement checkbox, go to next. Choose whatever you want here. The default settings work just fine for me. And yeah, and I see no reason to periodically check that, so I just click no. Okay, so now that you have 7-zip installed, you can uncompress these two files here. So what you're going to do is right click on one, go to 7-zip, and then click on open archive. So you can go ahead and just drag this somewhere convenient. I went ahead and put it on my desktop. Similar process for the second one, the free DVD ESR patcher. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the folder here. I don't need the README. This is perfectly fine. If you want to view the README and make sure you understand everything, you can do that now as well. Now we're ready to insert our game into our DVD drive, so let's go ahead and do that. And we'll get back on the computer. Back over on our computer, we can go ahead and exit out this pop-up if it showed up on your computer. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up IMG Burn, and this is to rip the game that is currently in our disk drive. If you're using a different program, you can obviously open that instead. If you're using IMG Burn, you can go ahead and follow along. Okay, and then once that's opened up, you can go ahead and click this Create Image File from Disk button. Okay, we're going to go ahead and select where we're saving the file. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this to the desktop just to make things easy. Naming it HSG4 Unpatched just to make things very clear. And then you can click this button and it will rip your disk. So I'll be back in a few minutes once this has completed. Okay, and once it's done, you can go ahead and click OK and exit out of IMG Burn. So the next step here is to patch the ISO file that you just ripped. So the first patch we're going to apply is the DNAS patcher. As I mentioned before, this will allow you to play the game online. So to do this, all you're going to do is grab the ISO file and drag it on top of the DNAS patcher file. And yep, so a DOS box pops up here, and this may take a few minutes. Just be patient, but yeah, just leave this open, take your time, be patient. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this a bit. Okay, and once it's done, the window will automatically close out like that, and your game should be patched at that point. So to make things a little more clear, I'm going to rename the file and just mention that it is DNA patched, just for the purposes of clarity. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is open the folder for your free DVD ESR patcher, then open the program. So right here, it should automatically select the payload for the Slims, which is the only one available, and why this only works for Slims. And then you're going to go ahead and select your ISO file, and then you can just click patch, and it's very quick. It's just done within a second, and your game is good to go. So all we need to do is burn it now. At this stage, we can go ahead and remove our game from the disk drive, like so. Set that to the side, and we can insert our blank DVD-R. And let's get back over to the computer. Over at our computer, you can go ahead and click out of this pop-up window if it showed up there for you. So we're going to go ahead and open up IMG Burn so we can burn our patch game onto a blank DVD-R disk. Okay, if you're following along, you can click this Write Image File to Disk button here. Okay, it takes a second to load up. You can click the folder to browse to our patch disk image and select it. And in general, it is good practice to burn at the lowest speed that your disk drive and optical media supports. This is just general practice for burning media. The lowest speed my drive supports is 4x, and the lowest speed the disk also supports 4x, so I'm just going with that. I am clicking test mode because I have already burned this and I don't want to waste a disk. You are not going to click test mode. So I repeat, you are not going to click test mode there. Just don't click it if you are actually trying to burn the disk. I'm only doing it because I don't want to waste a disk needlessly, and I want to show this just for the purpose of the video. Okay, so it starts going through the burn process here. So I'll fast forward it to the end of that process. And it's done. So once you get to this point, you're good to click OK here, exit out of the image burning software, and take your patch game out of the disk drive. And we're going to head over to our PS2. Okay, we're over at our PS2 Slim. You should have an Ethernet cable hooked up so that you can get this onto the internet. Also, obviously need a controller, need a memory card hooked up, and your patch copy of Hot Shots Golf 4 should be inserted now. So I'll go ahead and turn this on. I just want to show that it's booting here on camera. Okay, so it will go to a black screen here for several seconds, and then the game should be booted. Once this does boot, I'm going to go ahead and move over to my capture card to make things a bit easier for everyone. Okay, I went ahead and booted the game. I'll just wait until it gets to the main menu here. This video is also working much better now on this old verbatim DVD. Okay, let me go ahead and plug this into my capture card. Okay, so if you don't have a Hot Shots Golf save data created, you're going to have to create a new game here. If you don't, you're not going to be able to proceed. I'll actually show you what that looks like right here. So you're asked to load up your save data, and since I don't have save data, I can't proceed. So I have to create a new game and make a new save file. So I just went ahead and just made one up here really quickly just to proceed with the video. Go ahead and click yes to create the new file, and then it'll save it to your memory card that you should have inserted. Okay, so it's done there. Okay, so if you're at this part, you can just click start and return the title screen here. Go to online, then we'll select the data that I just created. Okay, so here you're going to have to create your network configuration file. So since we don't have one yet, we're going to go to make here and start the process. Okay, so we're going to have to add a setting. So select that. Our memory card's in slot 1, so we select that. Okay, we select our network adapter, should only be one listed. Okay, so here I am not using PPOE, so I don't need to do that. I can just use auto IP settings. If you have something else set up, you may need to change that. DNS server, we have to set the manual. This is how we're going to get this to work. Okay, so I'm going to enter the PS rewired DNS server in here. So the server is 67.222 1.6.156.250 as of November 6, 2024. This is subject to change in the future. I will have a link in the description to the PS Rewired Discord server if you want to go in there and check it out. The most up-to-date DNS server address should be in there in case this is not working for you. So we put that in, don't need to adjust the second one, and I just went ahead and renamed this to PS Rewired just for clarity purposes. So we can check everything here. Everything looks good. So now it's saving these settings to our memory card. All right, save's completed, so we should be good. And I would recommend you do a test here and make sure you're connecting to the internet and everything looks okay. And test was successful, so we should be good to go. So we can click OK here. We can go ahead and back out here by clicking circle, and then we can just quit. Okay, so back on the title screen, we can just go to online again, load up our player data again. Okay, so here we can actually click login since we have our network configuration file set up. So we'll click login. And once you get connected here, you can select the only option, and it is going to request that you create a username and password. So I just did this off camera. Okay, then it will save that data and log you into the server. Then you can go ahead and read through the policy here, and if you're okay with everything, you can go ahead and accept and continue on. Okay, and then you can enter the lobby. If there's any games available, you can join one here. And if there's not, you can go ahead and create a game and hope that someone else plays with you. I did go ahead and just created a room. I'm not really set up right now to start a game with myself, so this is as far as I took it. But yeah, as you can see, online is working in this game. It just takes some setup, but I'm hoping putting this information out there maybe get some more people interested in playing this game online. I'm considering setting up a Discord server and maybe hosting some tournaments. So yeah, I hope this was informative for you. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can leave them, and I'll try my best to get back to you. Take care.